Hey team, this video is about how to complete and approach your risk assessment from me that I will have sent you in our first email contact. This risk assessment is important for me to determine whether or not you are in my scope of practice. If this risk screen flags a couple of things that tell me that I'm not insured to work with you, what will happen is I will ask you to go and see a dietitian within my network. I'll give you names to talk to. Or go and ask your GP for clearance. So sometimes we do have to get some external help to make sure that I am allowed to work with you. So I just want to be very upfront about that, make sure that everyone knows that is how that works. That is how I stay within my scope of practice. If we involve a dietitian or GP, there may be follow-up appointments related to that. Although many times, especially a GP will just say, nope, you guys are good to go. It's rare for a GP to say no to looking to improve your diet. So it's really more relevant if there's a dietitian involvement. So as you go to fill out this screen, there are some questions that are important that you complete, and there are questions that are less important that you complete. The ones that you absolutely have to complete are these kind of like metric, demographic questions. So gender, weight, height, daily water intake, I do need. Days of exercise per week, I do need. And then here are some of the questions that are a little less important. So listing your food preferences for proteins, vegetables, carbs, treats. Those are handy things for me to have during our initial appointment, especially as we look to build different approaches to your food, but they are not the ones that I am looking at in terms of making sure my insurance covers our approach together. So knock through those first ones up until average sleep per night. Then you can do these if you want to. Then when you get to any injuries, this is where we start. So from line 33, make sure you fill these out as well. Just be as honest as you can with those ones, guys. It's like I'm not here to judge you for how many drinks you have in a week. It's just so that I know. If you want to add a comment next to this, so some of them are a yes, no. If you wanted to answer yes, for example, and then in this box write a number or something like that to give me a little extra information, that's always welcome too. These ratings here are some of the places that are key determinants for whether or not you get flagged as a higher risk individual. So again, be as honest as you can here, but when you're answering these, please answer them in reference to yourself. So if your stress levels, for example, are very high at the moment, that is very high in reference to you, not very high in reference to the general public. So similarly, if you think, oh, my memory's never been particularly good, answer your memory recall in relation to yourself, not in relation to like someone else. I can't do that. Oh well. And then this medical history one, this is an important section to fill out, as these will be other things that could flag whether or not I need to pass you through a dietitian or a GP first. Once you've filled that out, you're welcome to hop over to this summary tab. This is the first thing I will be looking at. If text comes up in red in this critical column, that will be one of the flags that I may need to refer you out to someone. So you can come and check. This warnings column is just things that it will tell me to watch out for. So if, for example, it says that you only drink 500 mils of water a day, it will warn me client doesn't drink enough water. So feel free to look in the critical column just so that you're prepared for me to say like, hey, I need you to go and chat to your GP before we start together. And that will just give you an idea of what's happening next. Once you have filled this out, you can move on to the client intake Google form. Make sure you've got both of those done. Thank you, please, before we do our consultation together. All right, thanks, guys.